escape, escape. Now, if I wanted to, I could actually do something like this. I could click on here and then hover here, tab, tab, and then control pick. So tab, tab, control pick, and now using my control button, grab these guys. I could actually copy those, believe it or not, from here to here, and it's going to error out over here, but that's okay because what I'm going to do is take this guy, and this is just a little editing exercise. I'm going to grab these guys and using my shift key and arrow key nudge those over. Now what I'm going to do is grab this T guy and this guy and use my shift key. There we go. So I copied and nudged that over. Now, interesting thing is here is that these are at different heights. So that actually probably, oh no, that should work. Let's see what elevation this is at. It's at elevation 10 feet. And what's this one at? This one's at elevation 9 feet. Aha. And what's this one at? 10 feet. 9 feet. 10 feet. So the interesting thing is we'll see what this is doing in 3D and we'll have to fix that. So now I want to start another one fresh, and all I do is go back and say cable tray, inherit elevation, don't inherit size, pick a different size on here if I want. And yeah, so if I say inherit elevation, it should just inherit this elevation. Copying that was kind of a tricky thing, but I created a problem that I'm going to have to fix. So now I can say, okay, well, now the mechanical is going over the door, so I'll just pick my point. Now we don't want to go hit that column, so I want to bend around here. And again, you have to leave yourself enough room to put an elbow. If I tried to do this and then start going this way, I know it's not going to work because it just doesn't have enough room to create that radius. So then I've picked a point and I'm saying, okay, never mind, I'm just going to continue along my merry way and then go back here, and I'm hoping that, oh, no auto solution was found, and that's again an elevation problem, I'm sure. Escape, escape, pick on this segment, and this is again at 9 feet. And this is at 10 feet. Yeah, so that's my 9-foot segment that's going under the beam. So let's take this guy and plow it right through this wall. Back to that 10-foot point. See, I'm just dragging this. Okay. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to right click on here and I'm going to say draw cable tray. That basically starts it right from that point. And then I can just go back here and pick on there. And I know those are both at 10 feet, so I'm not going to have a problem. And maybe I want to start. What if I pick the edge there instead of picking the middle? Now I have a piece of cable tray that, for whatever reason, is zigzagging its way along here. Always leave yourself enough room for elbow space. And sometimes it, when you're drawing, all of a sudden it disallows you from picking a point. It goes into vertical mode or something. I'm going to hit escape. I'm just going to pick on here and start again. And off I go. So I'm not exactly sure what that is. That I know I figured that out at one point, and it's going to come clear to me. So if you do get that to where you won't let you pick, just stop and start again from the end point, and it should we should have it fixed. So there's just kind of some cable tray, and ductwork works very much the same way as you would imagine. So some different elevations and different properties as you place your ductwork in there, and Revit's going to do its best to try to do that connection. If you want to split this, we can go in here and just use your regular split tool. Modify, split, and let's say we do want to drop an area down inside of here. So what we're going to do is we'll say, okay, split. We're not going to say delete inner segment. I'm just going to add a split. Now, Notice it makes me pick the edge instead of the center line. I'm going to pick on there, and it also adds a little fitting in there. Pick on there, and then escape, escape. Now what I actually have to do, the thing is if I pick on here and change the elevation of this, it's going to try to bring these guys down with it. So what I have to do is temporarily take this guy and pull this one in here a little bit, like this. Click out. Now I'm going to take these guys and just delete them. Okay. Now I'm going to pick this guy and I'm going to set the elevation to be 9 feet. That drops that guy down. If I pick on here, that's 9 feet above, and we'll see that in 3D. And if I pick on here, this is 10 feet. Oh, I didn't wait long enough. Okay, and now all I have to do, I can either drag this to here or drag this to here, but if I grab that connector and drag it over to that other connector, it'll fix it, and it will add in the fittings it needs to do those bends. Escape, escape. Away you go. So let's have a quick look at that in our 3D view. In our 3D view, what I'm going to do temporarily is just take that architectural model and turn it off. So I'm going to pick on the architectural model. You can see it'll turn blue there. Oh, that's not it. Pick there. Pick anywhere. You could pick on the edge of one of these trees, and all I'm going to do is go up to my light bulb here and say hide this element. Boom. Escape, escape. Click out. Okay, there's all my little electrical devices, by the way. I'm going to type TL on the keyboard, TL for thin lines. So there's my ductwork, and you can see there's my problem that I'm having over here. So what am I going to do about that? I'm going to say, well, I got to take this guy and delete whatever piece that is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to take this and use my shift key to drag that, and that'll keep it straight. Oh, sorry, my control, no, shift? Yeah, shift. So I'm going to drag that to disassociate it from that elbow. Now I'm going to take this and go tab to select that and pick it. In fact, what I'm going to do is rather than to drop that T down into here, I'm going to click on the T, delete it, and I'm also going to do a window box here and delete these guys. Okay. Now, what elevation is this guy at? This is at 9 feet. So I'm going to take this guy and say, okay, you are at 9 feet. And now what I'm going to do is just connect this by taking this guy and dragging it using my shift key, which is your ortho, and then I'm going to snap to that center line. It's going to re-add that T in, and then I'm going to take this guy and drag it up to this connector, and watch what happens. Boom. Okay, it's going to put that in for me. So when you drag connectors to connectors, I'm going to click on here and do a shift middle mouse so I swivel around that. Okay, zoom out a little bit. SD on the keyboard for shaded mode, or switch using our shaded mode over here. Okay, and there's our kind of revised cable tray stuff. Okay, I could pick on here now and say, create similar, which means, give me one of these, and I could pick a point here and use again my shift key, which keeps it straight, my ortho, drag over to there, that, oops, sorry, picked another point. From there to there. It generally tries to keep you straight, but in case you don't. So cable tray, very much like HVAC.